Hello, beautiful listeners, welcome back to the channel. Happy to have you here again. Now sit back, relax, and let's begin today's narration.
Episode 8 Unspoken Starry Love. Yashvi and Vrinda were staring at each other during the class. Vrinda whispered, "I missed you." Yashvi smiled, "But I was away just for the night." "Yes, still I missed you." Vrinda smiled, staring at her eyes. Yashvi liked her smile, and she knew one thing: she had a special connection with Vrinda. It was not friendship. It was not best friends closeness. It was more than BFF. That she didn't understand, it was love. All she thought was Vrinda is a nice girl, and somehow she was the only reason why she was happy being in India. She was wondering why. "What happened? You are silent. Did I say anything wrong, or you didn't like what I said?" Vrinda asked in a worried tone, when Yashvi was silently staring at Vrinda with so many questions filled in her eyes. "No, it was nothing like that." "I am actually thinking, ugh, leave it." Yashvi shrugged her shoulders. "What, why? Tell me, is there anything wrong?" Vrinda muttered. The class was going on, and the professor noticed Vrinda and Yashvi muttering in the back seat. He called both their names and asked, "Do you girls want to share with the entire class what you people are discussing that is so important than class?" Vrinda and Yashvi nodded no with embarrassment, and both said, "Sorry, sir. If I hear one more word, you both are going to be out of my class," Professor strictly said. They both nodded. Vrinda opened her notebook and wrote, "Did I annoy you?" and lightly pushed the book towards Yashvi. Yashvi looked at Vrinda, wondering, and wrote, "What? No, of course not. It was just something else I was thinking." "Tell me, what is it?" "Is it something bothering you?" Vrinda wrote. "Vrinda, don't think too much. Nothing serious. I am just thinking about some other thing which I never shared with anyone other than my mother." Yashvi wrote. "Okay, if you don't want to share with me, it is okay." Vrinda wrote, and unknowingly tears filled her eyes, and she felt like a heavy weight was crumbling her heart. Yashvi noticed tears blooming in her brown eyes. She held her hand instantly, clutched it tightly, and whispered, "Are you crying?" A teardrop fell on the page of the book from Vrinda's eyes. With that tight grip of Yashvi's hand and words of console, unknowingly tears crowned her eyelids. She nodded and looked away, wiping her tears and hiding from the class, professor, and especially her love, Yashvi. Within a fraction of a second, Vrinda's thoughts created questions that could build another Mount Everest. She thought, am I getting on the nerves of Yashvi by saying those words? Does Yashvi love me back? Or does Yashvi ever love me, or just see me as a friend? Did I hurry to say those words that I missed her? Instantly she stood from her seat and asked the professor, "Sir, I am not feeling well. I need to go to the washroom urgently." Yashvi wondered about her act, and she also instantly stood and said, "May I also go along with her, sir, as I feel she needs my help?" The professor looked at them and permitted both by nodding. Vrinda fastly walked towards the door, and her other friends silently saw her with knotted eyebrows, wondering what happened to their happy girl. Yashvi also ran behind her by collecting her books and bag. Vrinda walked fast on the veranda. "Vrinda, wait!" Yashvi uttered from behind and ran towards her. Vrinda fastly walked towards the garden, tears filling her eyes by ignoring Yashvi's call. Yashvi ran behind her and saw Vrinda sitting on the bench of the garden. Yashvi sat beside her and asked, "Hey, what happened? Why did you start crying?" "I said it was nothing about the thing you said, etc." Vrinda was silent. Yashvi took a long breath and said, "Okay, here let me tell you one thing which I never said to anybody till now, and only my mother knows about it." Vrinda's heartbeats increased, and she saw Yashvi with heavy breaths, thinking, what was that? "As you know, we shifted to India after my father had an attack." Yashvi started the conversation. "Thing is, I am not at all happy being here." Yashvi took a pause, and Vrinda stared at her, wondering what she was saying, etc. "Yes, I grew up all alone back in the UK, and all I had was me and my mom in the home the entire time, and my father was home only during nights and weekends. Home was always calm. I could read as much as possible and do whatever I loved. I never had to share my room with anyone, and I loved that privacy and my personal space. I had only 2 friends, and honestly, I was not very close with them as well. since I am an introverted person. I spent all my life like that, and I was happy the way it was. But all of a sudden, things changed. I landed up here. My house in the UK and my house here have a huge difference. That was peaceful, and it was crowded like an Indian market. Everyone utters like hell and talks here in the house. There is no privacy, and I never got 10 minutes of peace in any corner of the house to sit along with my book and read something. I slept alone, and I hate sharing my room with my cousins. She paused that sad note. Vrinda wondered when hearing all that. It was shocking to her that Yashvi never liked being here, even after she insisted on her, and convinced her many times about India and Indian food places and everything. But you know what? This I haven't told my mother either. I hate it when my cousins and everyone here shout while talking and laugh out louder for no specific reason. But I like it when you do the same thing. I never felt that annoyed when it comes to you. I don't know why, but I like it when you talk. Yashvi took a pause and looked at Vrinda. Vrinda's eyes shined with those words. She was still silent and was all ears to hear more about Yashvi's feelings for her. This morning I went to the temple along with my mother, and there we had lots of conversations. She narrated everything that she and her mother spoke on that morning. And then Mom told me that find a reason to stay here, and I feel it is only you. You are the reason I've always felt happy being here. It is so strange, as we are best friends with no doubt, but I feel this connection is more than best friends. Yashvi smiled, looking at Vrinda. Vrinda's heartbeats increased while hearing that all, and she felt that Yashvi would now say those words. But she took a full stop at more than best friends. Vrinda asked, "So what do you think it is? I mean, if it is more than a best friend, then what is it?" Staring at Yashvi. Yashvi smiled and said, "I don't know, but whatever it is, I like it," she said. Vrinda got confused. She felt Yashvi seriously not understanding what her heart knew, or she did not want to accept it, or she understood it all, but didn't want to show her acceptance to tease her for some time. "Hey, what are you thinking? Did I say something wrong?" Yashvi asked, waving her hand in front of Vrinda's eyes, to get her back from her thoughts. "Han, nothing. That?" "You really? I mean, you do not know what is between us?" Vrinda asked, mumbling. "Of course, yes, we are great friends," Yashvi said. Pustaknu kiro છે પણ આ idiot ને પ્રેમ સમજી નથી. She's a bookworm, but this idiot doesn't understand love. Vrinda muttered to herself. "What? Come again. I didn't hear you properly. Did you say idiot?" Yashvi asked. No, nothing. I was calling myself idiot for overreacting." Vrinda covered and thought about how to make her understand that she was in love with her. However, Vrinda was happy as well, thinking that Yashvi liked her. End of episode 8.
If my story touched your heart, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to support our little team, you're welcome to contribute any amount through the QR code shown in the video or the given IDs in the description. Your love means the world to us. See you in the next video.